So now you're acting, you're managing.
Yeah.
When when did you decide I think I want to do casting?
Well, casting happened by accident, kind of like the way that management happened, sort of by accident. Um, Management. I wound up doing that for 9 years, and each year got better and stronger, and I got better clients and more income and more established. But I had a series of setbacks in management, and I'm sure you can appreciate this. That I found that the more successful I became as a manager, and I had I'd sort of taken a little bit of a sidestep to my own acting career because I wanted to be taken seriously as a manager. So I sort of sacrificed my own aspirations, for the 30 clients that I had. But what wound up happening, and this happened to me about 4 times, is that you would get a client, an actor, and I started off with very modest clients. A lot of them were developmental, but you'd get them to a point of success. A lot of times, maybe it was on a series, and they would be happy for about a year. And then after a year, they would become unhappy, and fear would set in. The fear of like, how am I going to sustain this success? What are you doing for me today? What can I do to change things up? Or maybe I could use this as a platform to elevate myself. A lot of it is largely psychological. And so the wanting to use this, so you get somebody to a point, a success point, and then the thinking becomes, how can I use this as a platform to elevate myself even higher without you? That meant someone was going to get fired, and that meant me. And that happened to me once, it happened to me twice, 3 times. By the fourth time, I realized, oh, this is going to keep happening. I'm going to keep getting backstabbed, by clients, and they're not going to want to take me along for the ride and share, the fruits of my labor with me. And I didn't have anybody to back me up. Like the state of California wasn't going to be backing me up. The Screen Actors Guild was not going to be backing me up. So I was very much alone, and I just started to become unhappy. And now I'm like, I'm like 30, 31, 32, and I'm thinking, oh, the more successful I become, the more screwed I get. And my heart just couldn't, my heart was too soft, and I couldn't, I just couldn't take that kind of, disloyalty. And I knew it didn't have anything to do with me. It was just fear that actors were battling.
Well, and it's also actors not knowing the business,
Yeah.
having been one of those actors and learning
Yeah.
that it's not about, this manager is going to take you there and then that
Right.
manner. It's really about consistency, just
Yeah.
continuing to do what you do, knowing that if you do what you're supposed to do, everything will fall into place.
Yeah.
But actors get so fearful
Yeah.
because they don't take the time to learn the business.
Right.
They don't take the time to realize, hey, this is a lifelong a relationship. You and
Right.
I have a long life relationship. And when you're young, you don't understand that. You're just thinking, I got to get the next job. And you don't realize that you're hurting the people who are helping you.
Hmm.
So I'm glad we're having this discussion because there are a lot of actors out there now, and I know actors who are our age that still jump from manager to
Yeah.
agent, and then you're
Yeah.
not doing anything. But calm the fuck down
Yeah.
is what you need
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
Calm down. It's
Yeah.
what are you doing? Like actors never take responsibility for what they're not doing,
Yeah.
and they put it on the the talent manager, the agent. It's like, what are you not doing? Maybe
Yeah.
you need to take a class. Maybe you need to up your game. It's you can't um, you can't accuse your agent and manager. Their job is not to get you a job. Their job is just to submit you. Your job is to get you a job.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not up to you. So no matter how good you are, no matter how fabulous you are, you're not the actor they're looking for at that moment.
Yeah. It's it's tough when you put, as an actor, when you put all of your chips into one bucket, or one basket. And you're not diversified in terms of your income. And you're just depending on acting. And as we know, we have highs and we have lows, and some people can't get through the lows. And I had a client, one of my most successful clients, when I was young, put him on a series, and he had a really nice career, and he was very successful, but he also spent his money. He lived very well, and I remember always telling him, hey, you should buy yourself a condo, um, or invest in some real estate. I repeated this several times, and he never did. He just lived check to check, but exhausted it all. And sometimes, in the low times, he would need his money and also my money too. Like, he would, like, hey, can I pay your commission? Can I defer your commission? It's like, well, hey, I've got bills to pay too. But he was really, successful, but just lived, exhausted his means, and didn't have any other options. And so when you live like that, times can get desperate. And when times get desperate, you start to make poor choices, and or you can't even survive. This particular client wound up leaving Los Angeles and his career altogether, which was unfortunate, because if he had just planned a little bit better, he could have. I think he got priced out of LA, but didn't have any skills to do anything else. So I've always sort of had a variety of things, a variety of income sources, and sort of spread things around. And the minute I could, I bought a place, you know. So so my place here is secure because I own land, but it took a while for that to
Who
happen.
taught you to have other streams of income? Who was the person who gave you that information?
It was something that I learned from my parents, because my dad is a businessman, but he has a variety of businesses, a whole lot of different ones. That's why I didn't even blink when I'm like 22 years old and thinking, oh, I'll start my own company, because my dad had many of them. So I thought, well, if he can do it, I can do it. And that's why I think I had the gumption to have my own phone line when I was 13, and to call people and say, hey, I want to start a business, and I want you to be part of it. you know I guess I just learned that through observation. My dad is very enterprising, and my mom was always there with him, beside him. you know um so I guess I just learned it
Because I think
that way.
that's a really important. I mean, I say this to actors all the time. I think it's really important for you to have different
Yeah.
streams of income,
Yeah.
because like right now during the actors strike,
Right.
how are you making money?
Yeah.
How do you keep
How do you
yourself
survive? Yeah.
going
Yeah.
that it doesn't hurt your heart, or it doesn't cause you to do something stupid that could really harm you down the line.
Yeah.
you know uh, I, I I'm sure, just as you have seen it, I have seen actors make very poor choices because it wasn't even that they didn't have skill sets. They didn't want anything else,
Prideful.
because I
That's
think
yeah. They're
that's
too
the
prideful. Yeah.
big thing, because you can do all kinds of stuff. And today, unlike when we started, there were not many things you could do to make money in Los Angeles other than wait tables or be a
Yeah.
bartender. there
Right.
you know there weren't a lot of flexibility jobs.
Hmm.
Today you could start a business on the internet, you can
Yep.
sell merchandise. I mean, there's so many things you can do to have other streams of income. So there's no reason why actors shouldn't have more than one stream of income besides their acting career.
Yeah.
So I
Don't. Yeah.
I, I think that's a wonderful thing that you brought up, because that's where actors get in trouble.